flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Tonight, do we have a motion to approve minutes from December 5th board reorganization and the December 5th, 2020?
Second.
Motion by Mrs. Gogler, second by Dr. Diller. Any questions? Okay. Item 4.01, President Report. I'm going to keep my comment. I mentioned it at our meeting last. You're going to start blessings for everybody as we work into the into 2024. And that's going to be the end of my report. It's Mr. Motion here tonight with our,
and then we'll go from there. So Mrs. Holtry, if you could go over to the podium with the microphone, we'd greatly appreciate it.
Kindergarten teacher at Ben Chambers Elementary, family and some of her colleagues as well at her school. We all know they're unresponsive. Accident is it did not turn out so well for one of the parents. Amy did that. Take her. She was the guardian for the two little boys, first grade and second grade. She kept them safe. She kept them warm. She kept them occupied. She kept them distracted as much as possible because they didn't know what was going on. They wanted their parents. They had Amy frozen on her phone. She was one of the 911 callers. When the medics arrived, when the first responders arrived, she was the advocate for the boys to make sure they were receiving medical attention because they also needed it too. So during that whole evening, because they also needed it too. So during that whole evening, during that event that I'm sure felt like it lasted 24 hours and lasted 45 minutes, she was for those boys, their guardian angels.
So we thank you so much.
our Hamilton Heights staff. Michelle, you can.
Directional survey asking of the community and staff about where we should go moving forward. The last survey was this one is more action oriented about whether it be its academics, interventions, safety, facilities. The snowflakes, as you entered the room, were from the autism class in the high school, Ms. Swartz's class. So I do want to thank her for decorating the entryway on the way in. That's the end of my report.
Thank you, Mr. Bigger. Thank you, Mr. Bigger. Is that audio better? Student government reports.
I'm the president. There you go. $60. We had a lot of people in attendance and a lot of good times. With our Veterans Day update, we delivered them. We had 67. All of them were excited and all smiles on their faces. That's for sure. Okay, now looking forward, our upcoming, and then finally, student government giving back. On February 3rd of 2024, the student government is going to help set up the VFW for their little annual event. I don't know what it's called, but it just helps us. And thank you. Any questions, comments?
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a wonderful night.
I do have a question.
Okay.
Sorry. You said your mini-thon, what's going on December 13th? That's tomorrow? If people proceeds, is that correct? Okay, I just wanted to confirm that so I can try to promote that for you.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a wonderful night.
Thank you. Looking at the sign-in sheet, there is no one that has circled yes, but as I've said before, I know this sheet can be confusing. So if there are any members in 6.13 to be pulled from the consent agenda. Ayes have it, so moved.
This item.
Do we have
Motion to approve.
motion by Dr. Diller, second by Mr. McKee? Questions or discussions on the motion?
With a CESD head teacher stipend as outlined in the collective bargaining agreement.
Motion to approve item 8.01, please. And aye. Motion by Dr. Diller,
That the student can be reinstated back in the district and themselves here. So I think that's a real positive. It's wonderful when you see that or hear about it.
please.
Yes, thank you. Mrs. Stauffer and I are very excited to bring this MOU to the board. Looking at creative ways of addressing some of our staffing shortages in our buildings and grounds department, especially in June. Group did any kind of vacation leave payout opportunity. It's a win for the district and our B&G employee group that they have this opportunity. They will have the opportunity.
The goal is that the board, and then that will allow Mr. Baker's team on those. The board come up with the consensus on goals. The plan would be that as board members, we take another step back and work on their strategies to obtain those goals. So the dates that Dr. Smith has was January 8th, 9th, 15th, 16th, and 17th. Somebody has a birthday on January 8th, so that date isn't very good for me. But you know, at this age, I can always have a birthday party any day. But 8th, 9th.
We often meet on Tuesdays. So it makes sense to just keep that. I mean, the 9th doesn't work because we have does that make the most sense? That's my initial thought.
Yeah, I like that idea as well.
Agreed.
Does anyone sound like pretty good date? Comment on non-agenda items. Again, I don't see where anybody has signed in to request, but that's okay. You don't have to sign in. This would be an opportunity for any members of the audience to speak on any non-agenda item this evening. Thank you.